Update on the net neutrality battle. You know, there's a court case happening over it right now, and it seems to be turning in our favor and against the Trump administration. Now, the Trump administration took away net neutrality. It's going up against a federal court right now, and FCC struggles to convince a judge that broadband isn't telecommunications. And the subtitle is Skeptical Judges Question FCC's Justification of the Net Neutrality Repeal. So the judges seem to be skeptical of the FCC, and the FCC overturned net neutrality. So sounds like the judges aren't going along with that. A Federal Communications Commission lawyer, so that's an FCC lawyer, faced a skeptical panel of judges today as the FCC defended its repeal of net neutrality rules and deregulation of the broadband industry. FCC General Counsel Thomas Johnson struggled to explain why broadband shouldn't be considered a telecommunications service, and struggled to explain the FCC's failure to protect public safety agencies from internet providers blocking or slowing down content. You know why they struggled to explain that stuff? Because there's no explaining that stuff. That's why. So oral arguments were held February 1st in the case, which is being decided by a 3-judge panel in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia's circuit. So throttling, oh, by the way, so we found out that they were throttled. So when we had the big fires here in Northern California, it turns out that Verizon, right, was throttling.
They were throttling firefighters' ability to get data while they were fighting the fires. So
yes.
Their ability to access information was being compromised as a result of net neutrality repeal.
Throttling of firefighters' data plans played a major role in today's oral arguments. There it is. There's that story. Verizon throttled fire departments' unlimited data during California wildfire. Can you frickin'? Fire department had to pay twice as much to lift throttling during wildfire responses.
Way to go, Verizon. Company for the people.
Could you hear me now? No? Maybe I'm throttling you and you're in a fire. The lawsuit seeking to overturn the net neutrality repeal was filed by more than 36 entities, including states attorneys general. I would rather say state attorney generals.
Right.
They're
the easier plural.
They're the generals.
Right.
Right? But you're an attorney general. You're not that kind of general. Doesn't that mean that you're the attorney? You're an attorney. Who knows? So the state's attorneys general, I'm still saying state attorney generals, consumer advocacy groups. You don't say consumer advocacy's group.
I see your point, Jimmy.
And tech companies such as Mozilla and Vimeo. They all have joined in that lawsuit. Look at that. So that's good. And of course, Trump's FCC is having a hard time defending getting rid of net neutrality. That's another thing Trump supporters never talk about, that Trump got rid of net neutrality for you. That's a super dick move. That's something like a billionaire does to you guys, and he did it to us.
That most people are opposed to, too. Most people support net neutrality, 83% of people. And yeah, it's good. This is good news. We're not going to hear any final decisions until about June or July. So there's still going to be a lot of time. They're going to kind of process all this stuff, and we won't hear a decision until June or July. But what this means, it was very recent that we got net neutrality on the books. We've had net neutrality since the advent of the internet, but we got it on the books in about 2015.
With Obama.
With Obama and Tom Wheeler and that FCC. So they designated it a telecommunications service, which meant it was a Title II classification, which means it's a common carrier.
Yes.
By the FCC standards. So what they're trying to do to repeal net neutrality, what they have to do is they have to make the argument that it's more of an information service, which is a Title I classification, which is television and radio. And we see how well things worked out there.
When you deregulate those?
Right, exactly. So, but it shouldn't be easy for them to just do that. I mean, they decided it's a Title II, it's a common carrier, where they, hey, we were drunk, sorry, it's a Title I, we slipped up. No, you should have a hard time proving it's a Title I, and they're going to, because the internet is a common carrier in our lives at this point. So they're going to have a really hard time, especially when you can make the case for people fighting fires that had problem accessing.
So this is good. This is really I did not expect it to go. Well, we'll see what happens.
So Verizon actually may have done us a favor in this fight.
Yeah, maybe by being so horrible, they
being
helped.
so horrible.
By being so, that's a great way to look at it, Steph. That Verizon being so horrible, like most corporations are. Corporations are amoral. Their only business is to generate a profit and a higher quarterly profit than they did last quarter. That's it. Which is why lots of things suck in business. Which is why capitalism often melts down, and it needs socialism to save it. Anyway, we'll see how it turns out. But right now, the initial response is better than I expected, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that story, Ron. We're announcing our live dates for 2019. We're going to Chicago and Portland, Seattle, New York, all over the country. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all our tickets to all our shows. It'll be right underneath there, too. Please become a patron if you like our content and help support the show. You can become a patron for $5 a month, and we give you hours of bonus material. And make sure you're subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I'm not kidding. Make sure you're subscribed and click that bell so they give you a notice when we drop a video. It's the only thing we can do to fight back against the bastards. Thanks for your support.